Hello guys, my name is Shita Vesania. Today our topic is the truly beautiful mind. In 14 March 1879, Albert Einstein was born in the German city of Ulm. Until the age of 2.5 years, he could not speak, and when he began speaking, then he spoke every word twice. In childhood, his playmate considered him to be boring. His mother also thought that he was crazy because of the abnormally large size of his head. The headmaster of his school regards him as stupid and good for nothing. But then he proved all of them wrong. When he was 6, on his mother's insistence, he learned to play the violin and become a skillful violinist. His family shifted to Munich when he was 15, but there he feels uncomfortable with the strict discipline of the school, so he left it. After completing his schooling, he gets admission in the University of Zurich because the atmosphere in the university was more liberal and they accept new ideas and concepts. Besides, he has more interest in physics and mathematics. At the university, he met a fellow student, Mileva Merrick. She was equally clever and intelligent. Afterwards, they married and had 2 sons, but unluckily, their marriage didn't last and they split in 1919. Subsequently, after finishing his education, Albert worked as a technical expert in the patent office at Bern. Also there he secretly worked on his idea on relativity. He put out his paper on the special theory of relativity, which follows by the world popular education E equal to mc square. In addition, he also published his paper on general theory and relativity. In 1915, he gives a absolutely new definition to the concept of gravity. Also, this theory makes him a famous figure. During the solar eclipse of 1919, his theory came out as accurate and changed physics. When Nazi came to power in Germany, he immigrated to the USA. He does so because he did not want his research and findings to be used for destruction. Further, where Germany discovered their principle of nuclear fission in 1939 and 1938, he was the first person to write to the American president about the dangers of atomic bombs. Moreover, in 1945, when America threw down of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he was deeply hurt. Also, he writes a letter to the until nations for the formation of a world government so that it can prevent recurrence of such destruction. In last days, he spent most of it in politics, advocating world peace and democracy. The great scientist died at the age of 76 in the year 1955. Okay, thank you. Hello guys, my name is Shita Bhesania. Today our topic is If I Were You. If I Were You starts with the playwright Gerard preparing to leave his home to attend a rehearsal. After talking on the phone, he starts to pack his travel bag when he notices an intruder enter from his right side. Gerard notices that he has a stark resemblance to Gerard and he is holding a revolver in his hands. Thus, he learns that he is a criminal who directs him to put his hand in the air. However, Gerard's in suppressing pull even at a gunpoint and chats pleasantly with him. Finally, the intruders make Gerard sit on a chair. After hearing their conversation, we learn that Gerard is a man who lives alone and owns a car. It is clear that he is kind of mysterious in some ways because he is constantly in and out. We say that Gerard stays at his home and for some days isn't there. Moreover, he only talks on the phone without really meeting his tradesmen. After learning all this, we come to know about the intruder too. He is a criminal who is mainly a jewelry robber. After killing a policeman, he is fleeing from the police and due to his resemblance to Gerard, he plans to kill him and assess his identity to get rid of the police. Gerard makes out that the intruder isn't some smart but only overconfidence. Thus, he plans something witty and lies to the intruders. He makes makes up a story that Gerard is also a criminal and murderer himself, much similar to the intruder. The police are also after him, and if he ends up killing Gerard, the intruder will be killed either way. So, intruder believes his story, and Gerard convinces him to go in the garage, from where they both will flee in his car. After opening the garage door, we learn that it was actually a cupboard in which Gerard looks up the intruder and informs the police of his whereabouts. Thus we see that how a little alertness and cleverness save Gerard's life.